It is said that 75% young people are facing with hair problems. However, this guy called BALA is even worse. At the age of 25, he suffers from early baldness. He tries many ways to stimulate hair growth. The first solution, he does the headstand. The professor says that headstand can help circulation in the hair roots better. At the end, BALA suffers a herniated cervical disc. The second solution is using medicine. He tries to rub many types of essential oils, white eggs, even onions on his head. However, none of them works. The third solution, dyeing his hair black. His hair can't grow up, but he can color his hair. However, when he goes on a date with a girl, he is suddenly shot up by a public fountain, and the color in his head flows down. Trying so many methods already, but they aren't useful. BALA comes to the fortune teller for help. He just needs to apply buffalo dung on the head, and he will have beautiful hair. There is no choice, he has to take that risk. But even his dad can't stand with the smell. Finally, BALA goes to find the doctor. The doctor suggests him to transplant hair. He can collect the long hair on his body and transplant it to his head. But his body doesn't have any long hair. It becomes so hard for him. However, it isn't the worst yet. The worst thing is that all the difficult things he will suffer start from a girl. Some days ago, he surfed TikTok and saw a really beautiful girl and loved her at his first sight. His heart was shaking when he saw her. Knowing this girl is having a photo shoot at a company near here, he decides to do his special method. Because yesterday, he saw a man was removing his wig in a toilet. He was startled and thought he could do that too, and bought a wig for himself. BALA comes to a barber shop, shaves all the hair left and sprays the hair setting spray. A bald head is born. Then, the guy in the shop sticks a tape in his head and applies the wig for him. Look at himself in the mirror. It's a miracle. BALA picks up the hair dryer. It doesn't fall out no matter what style he tries. He gets success this time. He drives to the city with the new hair. In the afternoon, he comes to the photo shoot venue of an attracted girl named Polly. She wears a pastel purple dress with long beautiful hair. When he sees her, he even thinks about the kindergarten that their kids should go. While Polly is filming her TikTok, he purposely walks past her camera. Polly isn't angry him, she even has some feeling with BALA. Soon the love between the two of them is growing. They date together through TikTok. BALA even sneaks up to the window of Polly's room and confesses his love to her. But your sins will find you out. When they are hooking up, Polly wants to touch his hair, but he denies. In the car, she wants to rub his head, he also denies. She is so angry. To comfort her, BALA accidentally says a fatal sentence. Will you marry me? Polly immediately agrees. Looking at the fluffy dog, BALA admires it so much. He doesn't want to hide his secret from his future wife, so that he decides to tell her the truth. The wedding day is coming nearer and nearer. Some days before his wedding, his conscience awakes. He texts Polly and tells everything about his bald head. His friend tries to admonish and stop him, but he accidentally presses send button. The two of them stay in the barber shop and wait for Polly's message in nervous. After a while, Polly calls him and says that she is doing the ritual of pre-marriage, and she will always love him. His fiancée says that she is ready to accept and face with difficult things. The wedding happens so smooth. But between the happy crowd, there is an annoyed woman. This girl named Ludica is not a simple person. The story happened 3 years ago. That day, BALA was a hot boy and he was really famous in his school. He had a smooth, black, beautiful hair. The girls surrounded him all the him. Day by day, it made BALA became arrogant. He not only mocked a schoolgirl's dark skin, but also drew a bald teacher in the school's board. Unexpectedly, 15 years later, he has bald head too. The girl he insulted that year becomes a lawyer. His family knows that he is getting married. They open a party to welcome the new daughter-in-law. They and BALA put up a play to cover about BALA's head. Back to the present, the wedding is happening. Polly dances in happy. BALA's dream comes true. However, at this moment a colleague from the crowd comes in and shows his cell phone for BALA. It turns out that last night, he sent the message to his colleague, not Polly, which means Polly doesn't know anything. The first night with his wife, he can't sleep. On the next day, Ludica comes to Bali's house to blame him about the old days. She accidentally said that BALA is bald now. After Ludica leaves, BALA discovers that Polly is standing in the staircase and listening to the whole argument. Bali is furious and pulls his hair out. She is so shocked that she is speechless. The husband that she really loves is a bald guy. My husband is a bald man. She is so hurtful and hides in the room for a long time. Her husband outside tries to apologize about that and beg her to forgive him. Polly packs her stuff to a luggage. She decides to come back her mom's house. Looking at her brings the luggage in the car, BALA really doesn't know what to do. With his family's encouragement, Bali drives to Polly's place. He defies the objections of her parents and bursts into the house. If it can't be soft, it must be hard. He starts making complainants. Just a tiny problem, why do you have to make it so big? It's nothing with you but not with me. The appearance is very important, don't you know that? Bala is shocked and frozen when hearing that. Polly is crying and blaming at him. I just post a TikTok video, and I will quickly get 500 comments. 499 comments out of that are compliments about my beauty. Why am I always in the spotlight? Because I'm so beautiful. I just want to have a handsome husband. Is that wrong? Looking at how hurtful Polly is. Bala is distraught, gets out of her room. When he comes back home, another problem is coming. Not long after, he receives a letter of Polly's attorney. She says she will accuse him of cheating. And he has to compensate her 10 million Indian rupees. Bala can't accept this is the truth. He tries to find Latika. The court date has come, despite of the fair argument. Latika words are so strong that the other side's lawyer can't argue. However, what Polly says afterwards silences the whole court. I see all the mirrors in his house are covered in half. Even him can't accept this truth. Why do you guys want me to accept this? Latika wants argue more but Bala concedes defeat. He understands that love is also about agreeing to let someone go. After Polly leaves, Bala comes back his school. He meets his old teachers. And apologizes the bald teacher for insulting and drawing him 15 years ago. I know that, so I even draw you on the board to welcome you back, the teacher answers. In the end, Bala becomes a comedian. He talks about how he shaved the top of his head, making the audience laugh very happily. That's right. Being hated by others isn't such a painful thing. But you hate yourself, that's the real tragedy.